Module 2 in ACR 130, low voltage wiring. The first set of EQs you're going to run into is intro to mini breakers, and you'll find a resource I created for you guys, which is a TechNote YouTube video. If you watch till the end, there's a link to 11 other TechNotes. I'll fast forward for you just to show.
Here, one side would
This
go
is
here.
a 5-minute video.
Be aware of that.
But if you click on this tech
If you have any
tips,
questions,
there's
please let me
11
know.
videos I've created associated with our discussions in this class. I'm not going to make you watch that again if you haven't, but just remember, actually, you know what? No. Watch it on your own. It describes the importance of a mini breaker and its functions, which would allow you to answer these 4 questions. Describe how a mini breaker functions to protect HVAC components. That's very simple. A mini breaker will break the hot leg in a transformer. So you have main power coming in, say 120 or 240, and then you have common and hot 24 volts leaving. You would just place the mini breaker in the hot leg. You'll cut this wire, and one side will go into the breaker and pass through and go to the other. It's fairly simple. You want to put it right after the source of the control voltage, which is the hot leg in the transformer. Some, however, have a fuse holder on the circuit board. The way that works, the transformer goes straight to the circuit board and it breaks immediately through a 3 or 5 amp fuse. Where should you install a mini breaker? The hot leg or the circuit board. List as many components as possible that a mini breaker would help to protect. So the mini breaker is great for trying to track down low voltage shorts, where your low voltage wire maybe rubs through and touches the cabinet of the equipment. Remember, it could touch on the outdoor unit and trip the fuse on the inside, because the control voltage for your outdoor unit starts at that indoor transformer 90% of the time. So they're great for mini breakers. They're resettable. These fuses are one-time blown. You better have a stack of them if you're tracing down a low voltage short, because you might not get it the first time. And if you ever have a situation, say this board burns this high voltage relay into one of these low voltage circuits, you're going to burn, without a fuse, you're going to burn all the low voltage controls in that unit. What are those components you'll burn? Anything with low voltage. You'll burn the transformer itself. You'll burn the circuit board, indoor, the defrost board, outdoor, or newer units with inverter compressors. You want to talk about expensive boards? The YHM York board on an inverted high efficiency heat pump, $1,200, and it had 3 boards. That was just one of them. You can burn up the relays, the sequencers, the reversing valve solenoid, anything that has low voltage on it. Look up a mini breaker online. What is the typical cost and which amp ratings do you typically find? You can find mini breakers for amps all the way from 0.5 amps to 50 amps or 60 amps. However, the type we use in our business are 3 or 5 amp mini breakers for circuit boards, and they're typically $6 to $12. So make sure before your test on Wednesday you watch this tech tip video, and if you have any questions, let me know and I'll ask right now. Does anybody have any questions about mini breakers, their purpose?
Doesn't a mini breaker act as a safety, don't it?
It is a safety. It is a fuse, essentially. The only difference between a mini breaker, let me pull one up here, show it to you. Oh, I know, better picture. The only difference between this mini breaker or this mini breaker, the little popper, notice 3 amp breaker, is that they're resettable. They're not one time. Fuses, whether high voltage or low voltage, are one-time blow fuses. So once they trip, they're done. So for example, get rid of that. Why is it acting slow? You go back to this circuit board. Where is it? Anyway, in that circuit board, that 3 or 5 amp fuse is a blade fuse, and you can go to AutoZone and get them usually, but each time it trips, it's done. Excellent question. Make sure you have at least 2 or 3 of these on your van at all time. You don't want to get caught out in the middle of nowhere or late at night when everything's closed and not be able to fix a unit because you don't have a $6 to $10 part. That's kind of inexcusable. I used to carry 3 to 4 at all times. I would recommend at least 2. So make sure you watch that video. Any other questions? All right, gentlemen, we're going to finish this one up.